I'm so excited that everything is coming down to the wire in both of our regions, really. Like, we're not going to have those final standings up until the very end. So it's still everyone's game. Let's dig into our first one here, the first match, and talk about Qadsiah and the Ultimate. Starting with Qadsiah. I mean, my big takeaway from the match against Sakura, when was that? Literally yesterday. Labda, nasty Sojourn, just fragging out. And generally, they were so cohesive. They moved as a unit, constantly aware of the angles to take and the angles the opponents were trying to take. Like, it was really hard to flank them. They were just so aware.
I mean, that game was just a stomp, yeah. Like, pure control over the battlefield. So, like you said, like, Sakura didn't even get a meter on push. Like, 0 points at all across that whole series. They're coming off of that hot win, but if you think back to their last couple of games, they had that really nice series versus Twisted Minds. It was a 3-1 when the meta had kind of shifted, but then they did get kind of smacked down by Gen G. The Ultimates are going to be their big test. They're against VP next week on the perks patch, so you expect VP to just continue to run away with that, unless maybe Peps win later today and it knocks VP down a little bit. I don't think that's going to be the case, but securing a win here will be massive for the team and really solidify themselves, because I feel like they're a little bit all over the place currently. So confidence is key for Qadsiah, but yeah, just bring in the same kind of game and gumption as the Twisted Minds game, and they should be okay. It could be a 5-map series.
They should be okay. Famous last words. Necro, let's talk about the opponents here, the Ultimates. I mean, they are coming off of a loss, which was on Friday, so they did have a day to recover, but it was a close match. It was against Team Peps. It went all the way to map 5. It was a reverse sweep, so that can be a little tricky to shake off, but I mean, they kind of just rocked what we've seen from them earlier already. Like, they went Genji, Torb, Genji, Sojourn. Ice Gnome was versatile. What do you expect to see from them today?
I think you have to expect to see some of the same stuff. I mean, the Ultimates, this is a team of players that are all role stars in their very own way. If Kester can play Tracer or Genji, Kai gets a chance to actually play Sojourn, KSA on the Diva, Juno, Lucio, respectively, maybe even Ana there for Sky as well, then I think this is a team that can really succeed. But if it does require these players to just kind of play their comfort and to be as confident as possible, and I think there have been some situations like that Peps game where you ban something that maybe takes away a comfort hero from one of the players on the Ultimates, and that it doesn't look like they are just the same strength team that I think we all are excited to see, because look at the name value on that roster.
All right, I'm gonna put you guys on the spot as I'm sending it over to our map set and our hero bands. Quick, give me the score for this one. 5-map banger? Yes, no?
5-map. I want to say Ultimate's 3-2, but I just have a feeling it might be like a 3-1. Maybe even a 3-0 if Ultimates are really turning up.
3-1 for Ultimates? Necro,
yeah, I'll go with that.
You?
Oh, do I make things spicy? Maybe I say 3-1 Qadsiah then.
Ooh.
I like it. Well, let's see. The proof is in the pudding and also in the match. So let's see where they take us with our map set. Guys, take it away.
Thank you very much, Zoe. Yes, I want to just draw a quick parallel here to Korea, honestly. If you look, Crazy Raccoon have been beating everybody, right? And then, like Avril was saying, that 2 through 6th has been really competitive. It's almost exactly the same in Euros, with VP on top. I don't know how you feel. We'll talk about the later series, the VP versus Peps, a little bit later on. But man, this is the Ultimates now, Qadsiah. That middle of the pack squad that is just, please, just one win, bro. I need to be second. I need to be 3rd. I need to get good seeding going into playoffs. It feels like anybody's game. Gonna go to Samoa, quite classically at this point. Qadsiah picking this map, Rose, Juno ban and Diva ban on for Ultimates.
Yeah, this win's going to be so important for either of these teams because they really do want to separate themselves as a part of that giant competitive middle section that we have in EMEA. But I think for both of these teams, taking a look at the bans that come through, I actually think that this means that we get a chance to see some really fun stuff out of these teams. I think both KSA and Ziad would love to be able to play the Diva. They're both very strong on that hero. So the fact that we don't have that as a part of our hero rotation means that we are going to lean into some of these more brawl comps. Both KSA and Ziad coming out on the Ramatra means that we get to slow things down a little bit when we take a look at this setup from Checkmate and Labda on the Torb and Sojourn, and then the Sojourn as well for Kai.
I love Checkmate just ignoring the enemy. Hammer turret.
Yeah.
The turret will win the fight for me. Honestly, not too bad, yeah. Takes a lot of shots if you're just standing in front of it. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. All right, 2 Ramachas on the high ground here. The off angle is super important, like we've seen over and over again with Samoa. No one pressuring the point just yet, just trying to gain some ground, just trying to look for a pick. That's what the Sojins do best. And there we go, Labda starting us off with a snipe onto Kai.
Oh, that's a big pick to open things up because now you just don't have that big source of damage in Kai, especially when it's that elimination pressure with the charged railgun shots. And you can see KSA already trying to get the disengage, but you have to move through the disruptor shot. And that's taking so much space here for Ziad to go in and get the punch.
Labda has just been so consistent, like you said at the very top of this one, Rose. It's been really, really great to watch. I think at the moment without Qadsiah, if Labda just continues his kind of dominance on the Sojin, going head-to-head with some of the best hit scans we have in EMEA, this is a really strong look for Qadsiah. They've got Rush online, but so do Ultimates because that fight took so long. Rushing on the high ground is going to be a priority for both teams.
It is, and you've got a straightaway to go for too, so that's easy to let rip now.
Yep, easy stuff. It's all about the Ramachas and how they actually end up dueling this one. But unfortunately for Ziad, taking a little bit too much focus fire. Even though KSA was kind of getting domed by the turret from afar. That'll be a kill from Kai, kill from KSA. And the points being flipped over in just a moment. Just a couple of little staggers coming through for Qadsiah. But 52% is what they'll gain.
And it's a really good amount of progress. You know, it's something that's going to be tough for Qadsiah, though, is that you've got the ultimates here. That is Faith, by the way, on the Lucio for them. Maybe just a different tag right now. But you've got the sound barrier.
Streamer mode. 5 in 404?
I think so. Or 4D4? Yeah.
4D4? Yeah.
But regardless, it has a sound barrier up and ready to go. So that's something that Haku doesn't have right now, which is easy for the ultimates to go in fast with.
Yeah, really nice beat there. Ziad's going to keep himself alive in the front line with this annihilation, but KSA is going to mirror him in that regard. Ziad just taking so much damage. Support needs to come in quick. Look at the pincer maneuver and this sound barrier from Haku Rose. Just way too late. Maybe they thought they could kill KSA off the back of that beat, but Qadsiah losing Ziad on in this tight enclosed space with only this single doorway to look through. Very tough for Lando and Haku to get the healing in there required to keep him up. That's Ultimate now getting the lead.
Yeah, and that is really rough to have used a sound barrier there because I think the also same principle, like you want to have the sound barrier for the annihilation the same way that the ultimates did that to you. But now imagine if you had that sound barrier to deal with something like this Kevster Blade or even this overclock here from Kai. I think you would just love to have that extra overhealth, but you don't have it now. So let's pray this Kitsune Rush can save you.
All right, same as the fight previous to the last one. Both rushes on the high ground. Molten Core to clear some space for checkmate though, making their rush a little bit more valuable. Kai trying to find an off angle, narrowly escapes with his life. Even a Dragon Blade pod from Kevster, no sound barrier. Haku caught out, but a trade onto Kai as Kevster almost gets domed by the turrets. As the Ultimates still in control, and it's a scrappy fight. And with KSA alive, this stall could be quite scary for Qadsiah. But it is the flank from Labda, and with the help of checkmate, takes down KSA to end their reign on the high ground.
Very close call, though, on this first round already as Qadsiah get that control back. No ultimates, though, so we're really looking at Labda just getting a big pick with the Sojourn. Maybe that's going to be enough damage to get you into overclock territory to finish out this fight. But one thing's for sure, Jaws, we've got one more fight here on this point to determine who's going to take the first round of Samoa, and it is going to be just a raw fight on both sides. No ults just yet.
Labda still trying to find that opening pick. Kai's going to be the best target here. Look, a small little wraparound from Kevster and Faith. Does say Shimada, by the way. Avril just let me know, just in elite speak. KSA going pretty low. No, Nemesis form, unlucky. Ziad just punches his lights out. Kevster trades and gets a kill onto Landon, but that's just it. Even with Landon dead, like the ability to actually stick on the points here for Ultimates is close to 0. OT has been triggered with Faith falling, and Kevster 1 HP dashes towards that point, re-triggers OT, same with Sky. But that's going to be the round to Qadsiah with an annihilation to spare as well.
Didn't even need it. You also would have had like so many other ultimates though, I think, if this fight had gone on any longer. But Qadsiah with the first round on the board. I know we still have more map of Samoa to play, and as we move towards downtown, we get a chance to maybe see these same exact compositions play out again, which is how the architecture of this round works. But that was close, Jaws. That was really, really close, and I think it's always going to come down to Labda and Kai getting some type of opening pick with the Sojourn. That's really going to open up these fights for both teams.
Yeah, that one cooldown too, that Nemesis form, just keeping yourself up when you're getting pressured as the Ram is just so important. And well, unfortunately for KSA, kind of missed that rotation, and he had that one out of the duel. Kai, I will say, over the last few weeks, he's not been as impressive as I thought he would be, especially in this kind of Sojourn meta. He has been beaten out more often than not finding as many opening picks as you'd expect him, as much as you need in these comps. We'll see if he can beat Labda, but Labda's kind of had his number throughout this first round anyway. We'll see if the tables can be turned as Kevster just gets kind of rolled. Okay, and Faith also. Kevster and Faith once again trying to find openings on a flank rose and just eliminated.
Yeah, just going back to that Kai point really quick, I think it's not that even that Kai is quiet. I think it's just that the Sojourns in this region have leveled up so much that you can't just continue to think of Kai as the best Sojourn in the region anymore. Because you've got Labda now, as you were saying, like what a perfect DPS to have on your team that's going to even the playing field for a lot of these fights. And so even as we go into this next one, look at this, like Labda beats Kai again, but it's still a 4v4 because you do have Kevster that was able to get a big pick to create some space for the ultimates to go back in.
Yeah, Checkmate should eventually join the fight, but with a kill onto Sky, I mean, well, fight's done. I mean, there's nothing you can really do now. Yeah, Ultimate's just not winning out these duels, man. They need Kai to pick up a kill, and maybe that's why they're setting Kevster on a hard off angle, and Qadsiah have the perfect comp to kind of counter that. They've got Checkmate. It's like, okay, do we try and jump on the Torb and kill him? He has to pop E for us to actually do that, and it looks like Qadsiah are just going to rush all the way to the spawn. I mean, KSA's not going to stand up to this aggression.
And this is something that we saw Qadsiah do yesterday. Even on this map versus Sakura, if there was an angle, that was something that Qadsiah was rushing, so Kevster can't necessarily go play lone agent by himself. And they were also setting up these fights by just hitting the Q first. They're not going to do that again. Haku, look at them waiting in the wings there for the sound barrier.
Kevster's got the blade. B ends up coming out. Okay, they've got an answer to this. As soon as this overhealth disappears, Kevster's going to go in. A few slashes on the top, but he hits overload to create some distance. Pops down a turret in front of him too. Kai doesn't end up getting a kill, but it's actually Kai that fills the kill feed. Okay, there's 2 kills for the Sojourn. And then Kevster with the cleanup. 85% from Qadsiah. They've saved 3 ults going into next. And Ultimates have only got 2 to respond. It's going to be up to Kai and Labda yet again to find these picks, either with a normal railgun or an overclock.
But you've got this molten core that is going to be that difference that gives maybe Qadsiah a bit of an edge, especially when it comes to just creating space for the Sojourn to operate. Look at it putting down the turret, and then you get a chance to put this molten core down, and it has to push everybody back.
Okay, decent coverage too, just putting it in these choke points, kind of running around KSA right now, who's managed to find an entrance into the backline, ends up killing Landon. A good annihilation should finish this fight off. They trade 2 ults for 1. An amazing value return there from the Ultimates. They still have the overclock, and now Qadsiah, they end up using overclock and molten core in that fight.
So annihilation here for Ziad, the overclock for Kai. It's so tough because when it comes to the ultimates, like I really love that they're just trying to push forward and get a bit of poke damage. Maybe this also gives Kai a little bit more insight on where to actually use his overclock from. You can see the little flank that's happening there from Faith and Kevster on the side. And so you gotta kind of worry about 2 angles here, where the overclock is coming from main and Kevster behind you.
And Kevster's still trying to poke away. There comes the rush, though, and here comes the overclock. Kai just dominated, though. A good pick-off by Ziad and Checkmate, who's jumped onto the Genji. Ultimates, they're losing members thick and fast, and look at KSA's positioning right now, just separated from the rest of the team. That rush, you can't follow up on through that unless you've got a rush of your own, otherwise you are just going to get focused and instantly bursted. Ultimates, they're going to come back on the Malga. They got Blade, they got Rush, but they need to touch.
They do need to. That's why the Mauga's going to be so good. You've got the overrun. You also have the cardiac overdrive, which is going to help make sure that you can get into the fight just a little bit faster with that burst too. But Haku wants the sound barrier.
Well, there's the rush to create some space. Looks like Qadsiah going to give them the respect they deserve. But Lambda comes up with a pick on Kai again. Kai jumping onto Tracer to try and get back to the point in time. Just instantly headshot by Lambda, and that's it. It's a 4v5. Blade's been podged, but there's still the overhealth with enough to survive for a little bit. But Kevster, unrelenting in the Blade, finds 2 and will trigger OT as the ultimates now get the flip. All right, Qadsiah going for a reset, but now they can come back in with a Blade. Ultimates blew everything in that fight to try and stay in and secure the round.
But they had to, because if they didn't get the fight flip there, then that's how Qadsiah actually taking the first map of the series. Now the Ultimates have a fighting chance to make this a third round affair. As Zeon comes back on the Wrecking Ball just to get the touch, does get booped away, but triggers it at the end of the day, still with a lot of health left.
Looking for a slam now, spots KSA running to the back line, but it might just be all over already. Checkmate with the Blades, already killed 2. Kevster and Kai dead, and now it's only KSA in the front line. Nothing apparently KSA could do to stop Checkmate just popping. Faith does end up killing the Genji, but Qadsiah and the hand of Ziad managed to actually find the flip and land and snipes Sky with a kunai from across the point. And now it's KSA with a lone cage, pops it down, hits absolutely nobody as Qadsiah just kind of point and laugh from the back of the point.
Oh, they still have to finish up this fight cleanly, though, and that's where Landon's Kitsune Rush could be. That's seal.
Cardiac overdrive's already been used. Same with that overrun row, so KSA can't stay in this fight. OT still in favor of Qadsiah right now as they have the point, and Lambda's got this OC. This railgun's just going to be deadly, and Faith is already dead. And good luck taking out Checkmate, who's going to be in the skies. Oh, this is all over for Ultimates here on Samoa. Qadsiah running away with this. They do end up using the rush rows, but it's only a 2-man rush. Qadsiah, they've lost Checkmate, but all hopes and dreams have been lost on Samoa for the Ultimates as Qadsiah start off the series with a win.
Win for Qadsiah. What do you think about your pred now, Jack?
Little 2-0. Hey, come on now. I predict there was one map in there. There was one map. They only get one. And
all right, I'm just saying, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah,
I think you are.
But it was still a very close map. Let's actually still say what it was. It was very close, even down to the wire there. I think if the Ultimates had one more ultimate in the bank, then maybe that is actually something that they can flip the point and bring us into another round and see if maybe they can try their chances on Volcano. But as of right now, Qadsiah are going to lead the score, and I would love to know what the viewers thought about the predictions for this one, actually.
I feel like it would be pretty mixed, honestly. A bit of a 50-50 like kind of we have. I wonder... Oh, there you go. Okay, 65% for Ultimates, 35 for Qadsiah. All right, okay. So viewers kind of siding with me there, but after that first round, maybe that'll flip a little bit. Yeah, that was a lot of high impact early kills there from Lambda. 3 times during those 2 rounds, Lambda had sniped Kai, either on the Tracer or on the Sojourn to start out the fights. And you correctly point out, right? Like, oh, Kai's dead. Where's the damage? We need Kevster to find a flank. Him and Faith are on an off angle, trying to get into the back line. And it's like, well, I mean, Checkmate's there. And Checkmate's little homie, the turret. I mean, it's hard to really do that. And even at the start of this round, 2 rows to downtown, you saw Kevster and Faith, again, trying to find that off angle, but then they got destroyed. There was a very, very big boop from Haku to push them into a small room, and then everybody collapsed on them. A good, strong start from Qadsiah, although, like you said, a very, very close game. 34 deaths to 31, despite it being a 2-0, was extremely close, even 99-99 on that second round. We'll see if that can change going on.
We have ever seen for a map, I think, right now.
It's gotta be, yeah, pretty damn close.
It's like similar healing, similar damage, just across the board. You love to be able to see that, though, because I think if there were any matches that we were looking at for this weekend, this was the one where we said, I think this could be the closest affair that we have. Like, yes. 2 teams that are pretty equal in strength, in my opinion, and now they get a chance to put it all out on the server, and we get another map to see if maybe Ultimates can come back into this with a smart map pick and smart hero bans.
Havana is actually going to be the map pick here. Okay, I'm curious how they're going to go about bans, because a lot of the time what people have been doing, it has been like targeting the tank. It feels like every single ban rotation, it's at least one tank being taken out. How do you see Havana and Ultimates really teeing up for this?
Oh, well, first of all, let's call out the sub. Twilight's coming in. Twilight is here. Everybody, Twilight is here. Wow. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Jack, what do you think of this?
Okay.
Faith coming out. We've got to have double flex in the back, right?
Twilight is in. My Ana GOAT, one of the most legendary players of all time to ever grace Overwatch, has been playing, by the way, ever since 2016, 2017, back in Apex, was on BK All-Stars as one of his first teams, was actually playing with Alarm at that current moment in time as well. Like, he has been around since the dawn of time, and his Ana is just... he's always been up there, man. He is just an absolute beast. And we've, if you remember a couple of weeks ago as well, we was like, okay, when are we actually seeing Twilight? When we jumped into an interview, and it's like, well, he's not actually here yet, and he will be here in a couple of weeks. I guess those couple of weeks are up. First class ticket straight to the headquarters, and bam, we're seeing Twilight come in. And yeah, 100% correct, Rose. We're going to see double flex. We're definitely going to see Ana coming through for Twilight, and it looks like they're going to ban Juno, okay, to open up that space as well. Also, to protect Twilight's Ana. And then our Qadsiah are going to ban the Sigma. So no super slow poke comps. So we could be looking a little bit more quick from both teams.
What I'm interested in is actually who does play the Ana here, because for the Ultimates backline, now you've got Sky and Twilight, both of which have some of the strongest Anas in the region. And so then if Juno's banned out, maybe you would have thought, oh, well, Juno Ana would have been really good. But now is it Ana Bap and maybe Sky plays the Baptiste? Do we get to see a Pocket Alari pick come out here? Because that's also been a very popular support on Havana as of late.
I mean,
I'm excited.
Yeah, this is a very exciting time for me. I'm grinning from ear to ear if you couldn't tell. Just as a small thing as well, that former BK Stars roster back in 2016 had Banar on it too, and Bunny for all the old heads, and Carpe.
Oh my God,
as well.
Bunny!
A lot of old head players, but it shows you how long Twilight has been playing. He then moved on to Combox, I believe, was the team. Obviously, he played in Apex all the seasons. So, yeah, a good time all around, I think, for a lot of old head Overwatch esports fans. Ultimates will be starting on the attack first. So we'll see if Twilight ends up rocking the Ana. And our Qadsiah, they're just going to run the same thing, Rose. Ziad, though, this time is going to be on the Diva, but Labja just on the Sojourn. It's so consistent for this team. I would say one of the most consistent players on the team right now.
Absolutely. I think there's no question that Labda can show up every single time that we need to see him get this carry potential. He's able to deliver that responsibility. But for the Ultimates, let's talk about this comp, because I thought maybe this Widowmaker pick from Kai would just be to see if he could get a quick pick out the gates. But we've got the Widow and the Genji, and then we've got this Bap Zen backline here for the Ultimates.
Okay, kind of an old classic for Twilight, the Zenyatta. Not too unfamiliar with it. Obviously known for the Ana, but his Zen is also stellar. I like Kai on the Widow too. His best hero by far, and was what kind of made his name, was the Widow play. We'll see how this ends up doing, because this hard poke comp is going to be hard for Ziad to navigate. And already, of course, he's lost mech, so you are losing infinite space now.
Oh, I'm waiting with bated breath for that first headshot coming through from the Kai Widowmaker.
It's going to be Twilight on the Zen. I'm sorry to break it.
Yeah, you may.
A full charge right click.
I think you're right, but whoo, we're getting close to it. I think.
Oh, my goat! He's dead.
Okay, maybe you were wrong, I guess. And that's
Kai missing some uncharacteristically missing some shots there on long-range targets. Kev being down to a bit of an issue too. Bit easier for Ziad to control the flanks as well. Now Kevster is dead.
Also, he has mech back, so that is also a nice way to be able to make sure that you can get up close. But look at how well Qadsiah are just controlling this space. When Ziad lost mech, they instantly backed up. They know the card is over there by the finish line, but look at this, they already have the Russian spawn.
Yeah, good luck. But yeah, I mean, the backline's fallen over. I won't blame you for that on Twilight. No worries. Me, what I called all my favorite player on the broadcast. Let's have a look at Qadsiah here as well, Rose. They use the rush, but they're going to hold super close. They don't want to give Kai too much space on the Widow. He's going to swap over to Sojourn now, a bit more consistent. Didn't hit shots on the Widow, wasn't feeling it, and now they can hopefully try and punish Ziad. There's going to be a Molten Core from Checkmate in the spawn. I mean, this is just an absurd amount of aggression from Qadsiah right now, but Ziad once again losing mech. It was close to that self-destruct, but they're not going to be able to get back in now, so this is the chance for Ultimates to strike.
Yeah, I mean, Annihilation coming up here for KSA too. Hopefully you don't need it. You can just punch everybody back this way. But it's at least there as a get out of jail free card. That turret is disgusting though. Like, it's still active.
He's destroying KSA. He's like, someone please shoot the turret. It's kind of rolling me in the 2v1.
Well, you know, you just ignore it and then you don't have to worry about it ever again, hopefully. But yeah, Ultimate's now rounding the corner. There's still this overclock here for Labda he's letting rip.
Almost managed to just land a snipe on Twilight. Transcendence available from the Ultimates. Here comes the sound barrier. Annihilation 2. Ziad self-destruct on the point as the blade from Qadsiah has been popped. Remech comes through from Ziad. Not quite in time there from Qadsiah to try and get the kill, although on the point with the Annihilation, it's realistically only a matter of time. You need instant picks. They do actually manage to pick up the kill on KSA, and they're surviving this. Landon rips the rush, and despite Lab just positioning there on the side and killing Kai, this is anybody's point. Ziad's gonna come back on the mech and just destroy Qadsiah. There's only a meter to go, and the Ultimates have 30 seconds left in the time bank. Twilight switches over to the Kiriko to get back, but Ziad loses mech, like for the third time. This has not been a good map for him thus far. Window should seal the deal, though.
Oh my god, what are we seeing, Jack? I cannot believe.
A word that I can't say on stream. It's just a mess.
This is an actual wow, we're just having a fiesta, aren't we? I'll just call it, yeah, you know, absolute fun is full.
Sure, yeah, it was a bit messy. But Ultimates do end up capping. Twilight switches back to the Zen. Zen a little bit tougher, and the supports in general to get a lot of value here. Hard to beat these sightlines against Lab, who has high ground.
I would be so worried about being the Zen BAP, though, against this venture from Checkmate. Checkmate switched over to this just to be able to get back to point fast, and look at, like, you boop everybody out of the Immortality field, and how does Twilight just walk away from that? You don't.
Yeah, exactly, you don't. I think it answered the question there for you, Rose. Twilight and Sky already dead. Such a good tool, like you said, that drill dash, getting people out of lamp, like, it's so effective. And Ultimates now just have to chill. They have to reset, hopefully find a pick with Kai, but they can't do much else without Sky and Twilight.
So they just have to play a little bit of a waiting game, but if Kai can actually equalize this with something like a pick, then you can go back in. And it's not like either of these teams are strangers to just pushing the tempo. If they see an opening, they are fine being able to invest in ultimate here, but Laptis chance first.
Checkmate's gone in the back again. And there's the tectonic shock. Oh, no chance for Twilight there. Turned to scrap metal, unfortunately. Well, 1 minute and 18 seconds. Kev's just pushing, but they haven't got the space. 2 DPS from Ultimates on the cart right now as Qadsiah just focusing KSA, who's popped the Annihilation, but there's no heals once again. Sky and Twilight have had a rough go at this second point. A lot of push, though, from Kai and Qadsiah as now they try and reset for this final minute.
1 more minute remaining, and it feels like if the Ultimates are going to get it done here, it's going to be a photo finish. It's Twilight and Sky trying to get these support Ultimates up, and Kevster maybe getting this blade that could push this payload over that second point line. But it's tough when the Qadsiah are at the spawn room doors.
Twilight needs the Transcendence, but 4% away. You have to have that ult online when Landon goes for a rush like that.
Pushing.
One of the only ways you can actually survive it. And look at Ziad now. May have lost mech a few times to begin with, but he's turned it up. 20 seconds to go now, Rose. Kev's has got a blade, but they need to save this mech, but it looks unlikely they're going to be able to do so. Oh, just in time. Sky hits the spawn, and KSA healed all the way back up, but there's 10 seconds to go, and they need to touch.
Someone was pushing that. I do believe it was Kevster. Kevster went down on cart. Love that he's there just to try to play a little bit tricky with it. But we do see KSA getting stopped at the cart.
Yeah, no more self-destruct either, Rose. So KSA just giving the life for the cause. High ground control is going to be great for Ultimates behind this window, but they need to touch. Twilight's Transcendence might be good, but everybody's getting booped away. Kevster now taking the 1v1 versus Checkmate, and actually Landon ends up going down too. Kevster's just saved the day on the payload. Checkmate tried to stand up to the king, but he was quickly dethroned. I mean, look at that. Ultimates and Kevster's blade just saving the day. I mean, that was dirty from Kevster. Ultimates, they do manage to cap the point, but with only a minute and 20 seconds to go, Rose, this is, it's not looking pretty pushing on to third.
It's still a lot more meterage than we thought they might be able to get out of that first push. Almost getting stopped at the first door, now barely making it over the line in overtime here for second point. They've gotten away with a lot here. And Kai still has an overclock, so let's not count out the ultimates just yet. Because while Kai might have been a little bit quiet on that first map, maybe he's really feeling it now.
Oh, wow. Checkmate almost got moved off the map. That would have been very close. Taking the fight pretty close, though, because Ultimates' comp works so well here, especially with Twilight sitting on like a back angle. Kai ends up receiving the land, both overclocks being used, one shot being reflected back in Laptor's face, but still unperturbed. Wants to get as much damage in as possible. Ziad pops the self-destruct, but again, a messy fight, Rose. But look at how Qadsiah's positioning. They're on second right now. Checkmate eventually brought down by Kevster. A good D-suit, but it should be out Qadsiah looking for a reset, especially with Landon dead.
Ooh, and Lad is gonna get caught out here, extended a little far forward while the rest of the team had pushed the S key, and they're gonna wait by this fortress to see if they can get this rush across this bridge and finish the fight here. Double support ultimates for Sky and Twilight, yeah.
Transcendence, Window, they've got the tools. The Trance needs to be used to counteract this rush, and here it comes. Window actually popped pretty early. Twilight doesn't want to go in just yet, but the Tectonic Shock might be enough. But KSA manages to take out Checkmate before he can lay down the second shot. A Transcendence is going to keep everybody healthy, but still Qadsiah trying to find these off angles to take down Twilight. Suzu there from Landon to save his life, but Twilight protecting Sky, taking down Ziad's mech, and Landon too. An OT push here for Ultimates as they breach the fortress, and they still have Blade. Blade popped, Checkmate hits the deflect, goes back to that mega health back, but can he actually stay in this fight? Kevster once again comes in clutch as the Ultimates, by the skin of their teeth, managed to get the full cap.
They are just the overtime kings right now. It was looking really dire towards the final seconds of every single one of those points, but in the nick of time, a blade from Kevster, an overclock from Kai, Twilight popping off, the Transcendence to come in and also save the day. This is what we came here for, Jaws. Really close fights that come down to the wire between two teams that are so evenly matched.
Just being able to come in clutch like that. Kevster's, almost used to it at this point, the amount of time he spent playing professional Overwatch at the highest level. Just an unflinching machine. Yeah, the blade really at the very end, like you said, second and third, just super clutch factor. Gonna see the same thing from Ultimates. No Kai Widowmaker though, just going back to the Sojourn. Honestly, when you're not feeling the Widowmaker, I'm sure everybody's kind of felt the same way, I'm just not hitting shots, right? Just go back to something a little bit more consistent. And the Sojourn did look good. Twilight and Sky as well got kind of picked on when Checkmate switched over to Ventures, so I'm curious if Qadsiah are going to go that direction again as the spawn doors open. Checkmate's still swapping his heroes here.
I think it's going to end up being Qadsiah for the most part with the same things, and then Checkmate is always going to be that wild card. Do we see the Venture again? It's going to be the Torbjorn as we head out of spawn for now, and the payload gets moving. There isn't a close spawn hold here for the Ultimates. It does kind of make a little bit of sense. If you're going to have Kai and Kevster on the Sojourn and Genji respectively, then you want to make sure that they're actually set up on those off angles, and it's much more tougher to accomplish that when you are close to those spawn room doors. But KSA can still play around this corner and just wait for one of those picks to come through.
Yeah, kind of the default spot, right? You just kind of chill there. You have your shield up every now and then, and Kai makes good use of it. Checkmate's turret does end up going down. And Twilight's going to be a bit of a menace here on these angles, just spamming down these very, very tight corners. And also discording the Diva. Obviously, you don't want to use your full matrix before you end up going in. So if Kevster can continue to pressure the high ground, they should be good. And, well, there's the first kill. Twilight snipes Checkmate from across the map. and not afraid to step up to the rest. I mean, look, if you're playing the Zen and you're getting dove on like that, you've got the single kick, but Sky, just such an incredibly consistent bat player, just support player in general. You know he's got your back in those times of need.
Absolutely. Whether it's the immortality field or just knowing that you have to put in the peel to keep the burst healing on the Zenyatta. Perfect assessment of cooldown usage. And Twilight gets to live to see another fight. Very close to this amplification matrix though as well. Sky with all of that legwork, earning that very quickly.
Yeah, look at how they're positioned now as well. Seeing checkmates on the Genji, you can't play up. On the Torb, it's fine because you can snipe the Torb, you can do damage to him, that's cool. But now they're playing all the way back in the car. Lamp deployed pretty early there to try and save Kai's life, but it's not enough. And now Sky has no Lamp. The dive ends up coming in, but that Vortex was just clutch from KSA, slowing everybody down for Kevs to just pick people off. And look who's behind. Landon is alone right now, so a big stagger, but still takes out Kevster. I'm sorry. No Swift Step, sadly, but that's a big pick. Look at the quick regroup here from Qadsiah. They've not got the main healer, but KSA's the only one here to try and touch.
Yeah, you push forward with this one, knowing that Haku also is very close to the sound barrier. You can get really aggressive if you're Qadsiah. And so I love that they're just going to wait for Lana to come back as well before hitting this rush.
They don't end up bowling over the ramp. Now they're going to try and do it as the Russians are coming in, but quick pop of Annihilation there should leave Twilight pretty free to use the Transcendence whenever he feels like it. KSA dropping pretty low though. Lamb comes out. Twilight's going to have to Transcendence soon. KSA's just going so low, but full trust in the backline right now. He just stands stalwart. Just crossing his arms, just hoping and praying his supports can heal him up, and they're going to do so, and Twilight just dashes to the front line on the Zen. Well, I guess floats to the front line, takes down Lambda and Haku. Now a minute remaining as Qadsiah used the rush in that last fight. They've still got 4 ults, but there's a Transcendence Blade and OC for ultimates.
God, what patience from Twilight to know that you don't have to hit the Transcendence there. And also, if you don't need healing, if you just take out everybody. So having the Transcendence here is perfect for something like this Checkmate Blade. Oh, that's huge.
That was a collapse from Labda too. It hit both Sky and Twilight, and he finishes Twilight off with a body shot. No Transcendence and no hope to win that fight against the sound barrier. That is exactly what Qadsiah needed. They got away with almost murder there because it looks so good for ultimates.
It really did. Having the Transcendence could have been the difference maker against like a position where Qadsiah got forced to have to use the blade on top of that overclock. But Labda found the perfect target, knowing that you could see that Transcendence here. And so now they get this second point unlocked, and they still get to keep the bomb as well as that blade. So to see if they can force out the Transcendence here first. Okay, well that...
You got rolled by Kevster. Double
that's just
headshot.
Unlucky.
Yeah, that's just a Kevster difference there. Transcendence actually forced out. Twilight pops the ult. You saw Ziad there getting the remake. Ends up getting desuited again, so that's going to give him a little bit of a reprieve, at least for the time.
Oh, Ziad does get eliminated though, so going back to spawn will help to reset that map just a little bit faster. And the ultimates are pushing on this. Like, why not? If you know you have a ramp shield there, I would,
Yeah,
Zen.
that's true.
Like, that's so fun.
I love it. Just playing up to the doors when you've only got your Genji next to you.
Why
Now
not?
this is the big fight here. Qadsiah switched to Tracer. They've got Blade, they've got Rush, and Twilight doesn't have Trans.
No, that's a big deal. I mean, Twilight just could be easy pickings here, but look at it. They know where Labda is. They spotted him out, and he took so much damage before this rush came out.
Lamp's already been used. This is a free blade for Checkmate, even if they, well, they might not even need it, to be fair. Twilight already dead. Haku traded. High ground control for them, at least for the time, and there's the blade. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, I'm afraid. Although Checkmate still gets taken down, but he's already done the work necessary. Kai and Kev dead. Minute and 25, and the payload should get them moving as soon as they take down KSA, who is... Yep. This is definitely a fight of all time. Then he's dead. Okay, good stall, though.
That's the next battle of the box. One giant Ramatra versus 15 tiny Genjis.
That's a good one, actually.
Yeah.
Look at that one.
Russian can steal that. Anyway, 1 minute left, and this payload is still moving. No ultimates though here for Qadsiah, so it's gonna be a clean slate. Labda though, very close to this pulse bomb, but you gotta deal with this Kevster blade.
I mean, I think they've dealt with it already. He's half HP, can't even push in. Twilight does end up going down, and who's there to touch? It's going to be KSA, and he's got the Annihilation to refresh a lot of that armor. They're still pressuring him. Oh, and no ultimate. Okay. Kind of a smart move there if you know you are going to lose the fight. They actually force the mech out of Ziad. That's self-destruct. But it's still 2 minutes on one of the hardest points to cap in the game.
Yeah, I think you're so okay with that if you're Qadsiah. That's a lot of time left. Labda's playing sneaky with the pulse bomb ready to go. And Landon has another Kitsune rush.
Oh, unlucky.
Okay, KSA's almost dead.
SA's going down, but look at the swap here from Twilight. Oh, what a shot from Kai. Killing Landon pretty quick. Twilight swapped over to the Ana. His best hero, what he was famous for and just continues to be famous for. And now he can sit basically in the spawn doors, and KSA is going to receive so much more healing now.
Yeah, we did see the Kiriko. I think that was just a quick swap to be able to get back to stall out that second checkpoint. But then once they lost that, Twilight getting to play Ana it's like a sight for sore eyes, Jack. I've missed this so much.
Towel skin, mythic weapon equipped with the emerald. Don't mind if I do. Kevs are going pretty low there and actually taken down by Ziad. There is the Venture once again. A very, very good pick, but this time it's actually Labda playing it. But KSA stalling the point. This is going to give Ultimates enough time to hit the respawn. This is an amazing play from KSA right now. Look at the payload's positioning. They're going to get it back on the bridge, Rose, by the time KSA comes up. So they granted themselves an extra fight.
I mean, I actually wouldn't have been surprised if KSA popped the Annihilation there to stall even further, because you're absolutely right about that. We're sort of back to the final fight where it comes down to these last couple of ultimates again. Sound Barrier, Dragon Blade combo here for Qadsiah, but now the ultimates want to stop them here with this overclock from Kai. Blonda can get behind the team though. Now he's the one that's on the Venture.
Labda almost got zeroed there by Kevster, but yeah, back in the mix, back on the point. OT approaching, Nano Blade for Kevster. Twilight is just free to do whatever he wants. Here comes the push, B Enzo coming through. Kevster's trying to dash back to spawn there, but there's the Nano, and the overclock's coming as well from Kai. There's just too many ults. There's too many ults, and Haku shoots the sound barrier too early. Oh, an easy kill for Kevster there onto Haku, and the mech was history, and that's going to be the hold for ultimates. And Kai, yeah, it's just sitting on the ult as well. And now Qadsiah still have the blade. They just couldn't make good use of it. Just an overwhelming amount of ultimates from the ultimates, and they end up holding in that gateway. Just such a tough point to cap. And then Twilight was basically free to play on the Ana. They're going to tie the series up.
That was KSA coming in and saving the day. Like that stall on the cart before that final fight. I love that you called that out, because how perfect. No cart progress. Otherwise, I do think that last fight could have looked a little different. You still have that overwhelming ultimate advantage for the ultimate's defense, but maybe the cart gets to push a little bit farther forward, where then you're the one that's setting the pace by like sending it down main, and they have to respond to you. But such proactive play from the ultimates, and I love that we have such a close series on our hands.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be close. Ultimate's taking that one. Look, Twilight comes in, gets the win. We'll see if Twilight continues to stay in. I would imagine, obviously, when they do want to run double flex, which is some maps, and especially if they do ban Lucio, then Twilight's probably going to stay in. I think at the end of the day, there was just too many ultimates. The Annihilation especially on the point, and KSA, like you said, just stalling it out over and over and over again. It does grant you so many fights, and he's kind of right to do so. It's like, well, my backline's getting dove by the Venture, by the Diva, by Genji, whoever, right? I just go to the point and I sit there, I stop you from pushing, and sure, my backline might end up going down. I can't really trade because of how Haku and Landon are also playing on the Lucio Kiriko, because they can go super aggro. And now you have to kill me on the point. I can just sit there, pop Nemesis form, and now what are you going to do? Like, what, you have to kill me, and now my whole team could spawn. I'll spawn a little bit later, and you still have to push. I think the macro game from Ultimates there was really masterfully executed, and then Kevster's blade at the end. Oh, and checkmate. I didn't see in the kill feed there, but in the little HUD thing, he got slept by Twilight, so couldn't actually use the blade. So another really big play there that wasn't caught because of all the mess. Good stuff from Ultimates across the board.
It's so good. Like, I just let the heads up play there to know that they can also just take things down to the wire and still have confidence in the team. Like, KSA being able to do that is also just another vote of confidence into the back line. We saw a lot of instances as well where KSA was trusting that his support line would keep him up. patience on the Transcendence. So Twilight could save that for another moment in time, or just KSA with absolutely no fear, because he knows that somewhere, some way, there's going to be an immortality field, or just like a ton of healing invested into him, or something, or his DPS can finish up the job. And so Suravasa, our next stop. Do we get a chance to see the Ram again? I think Ram versus Diva, unless there's a ban coming through. KSA looks beautiful on it. Like, it's brilliant.
We'll see. I mean, it's Qadsiah's time to ban first. I don't think they're going to ban Lucio here. It's probably just going to be more of a tank ban. I think you're right. Banning the Ramattra might be the play, and then roll from there. It's interesting. Suravasa, we've had it a couple of times now where teams have banned Lucio on this map, and obviously, like we saw, Prophet on during the pre-show was rocking the Widowmaker. We saw Quartz on the Widowmaker as well. Like, I think anything could happen on this map depending on how bans go. But Faith coming back in for Twilight does signal to me that there's not going to be a Lucio ban, although Faith can easily handle the break here too.
Yeah, I mean, you could still see Qadsiah ban it out if you really want to, and then you are stuck with just having to play the Brig. I don't think that matters at all. I don't think that there's anything that's going to actually hinder them, but it's in fact the ultimates that are going to be the ones that ban out the Lucio themselves.
Okay, so yeah, Qadsiah bans Zarya. So this is a Diva. Like, hey, we want to play Diva here. And then, yeah, the Brig now for Faith since Lucio's banned. You still would definitely have Faith in over Twilight for the Brig, so that would make sense there. But yeah, another very slow map of Suravasa with the Lucios being taken off the table. Might hurt Haku quite a bit, whose best hero definitely the Lucio. So we'll see how this does affect Qadsiah, but Ziad being on one of his best heroes, the Diva, you're still feeling pretty good. And checkmate. Oh, he's back on the old Torb.
And don't worry, you still have Juno for some amount of speed, right? Speed ring can still be helpful to make sure that you're taking those rotations well. But I totally agree with you. I think that this ban from the ultimates is strategic in the sense that they know that the banning out the Lucio doesn't hurt Faith's ability to play this Brig at all, and still find a ton of impact in this game as one of his absolute best heroes. But you still have to deal with, like, how do you actually take these fights? The pace is slowed a little bit without having the extra mobility in the Lucio. You have to play more patient around your Sojourns once again.
Yeah, and you kind of favor the Ram comp in that regard, right? Because Ram has the ability to play slow. Can play pretty quick too, but the Diva not so much, because you don't have a shield. You've got the Matrix to negate damage and railgun shots and whatnot, but you'd probably take the Ram here. And Ultimates do end up getting this cap. There's a small push here, and actually Labda just snipes Faith as he tried to hit the rotate back towards Sky.
That's a big pick, and now I think this is the go signal that Qadsiah was looking for. If they can get another one here, that's first flashpoint. But Ultimates had already captured that, so you're still walking away with 37% progress on this first flashpoint.
Yeah, definitely not bad. Labda finding a sneaky pick. Go on, Showmate. No, not quite. A little slippery, the Juno. Small hitbox and very, very fast on her feet. So, yeah, good luck hitting that one from range.
Worth the attempt anyway, just in case you do get a stagger there, but not meant to be this time around. Speed Ring to go back to point, set up for the next fight, and that's where we look at Landon having this orbital ray already. Like, it hit the ray advantage on him.
As soon as Ultimate's kind of step up here, you can see Landon's ready for it. As soon as they see someone else, they might just rock the ray, but no, they're going to go in the choke. Speed Ring used on KSA to get him out of there. And there will just be a stall. Remember, these comps are a little bit slower now without the Lucio, so every percent matters a little bit more than it normally would. Ultimates can make a fast rotation, though. They can go back to main if they want to. Qadsiah still have the point. Look like they're going to try and counter-rotate now on Qadsiah.
And now this is where I would be careful, because Sky's going to have this orbital ray up very quickly.
High ground control for Labda now. Oh, looking for a collat there onto the low ground, but orbital ray for Sky ends up coming through, and the molten core from Checkmate isn't exactly going to hinder Ultimates, but they can just get to the high ground like this. Qadsiah getting pushed off. Looks at the ground there, avoiding headshots coming in as Ultimates get the cap, but no one dead from Qadsiah.
You still have this rally that's coming up shortly, but the ultimates have all of the overwhelming power.
Yeah, I mean, with the Annihilation, Speed Ring, and then Kai hitting a railgun shot, that's fight over with. Ultimates should take the point, especially with Ziad out of mech too. So a little stagger here on the D.Va, guaranteeing them the point.
First flashpoint goes away with the ultimates, but it was still such a close affair, but so much just presence of mind to know that they only have to hit the Annihilation in the rally. They get to save their 2 DPS ultimates for this next flashpoint and see if this will be what secures them control first. They're also going to make it to the flashpoint before Qadsiah do. So great setup opportunity for Kevster with the Blade and Kai with this overclock.
Yeah, you definitely value that high ground that Kevster and Kai are on to snipe people on the cross. Oh, they're going to go early with Blade. That's going to force out the rally too. Kevster's still got to dash away, but they get a kill onto Landon regardless. Bit off more than he can chew there, though, as he goes down to Labda to a trade, but still in a bad spot around Qadsiah unless they find another pick. And Labda hasn't got the railgun charge necessary to go for an off-angle snipe.
Ooh, KSA is walking a little bit too far forward, though.
KSA
actually might get got here.
Kai ends up using this railgun here too, but I mean, Ziad can eat most of these shots as they end up scurrying away. They get the cap, but Kev's is dead, and overextension from KSA is going to cost them dearly.
That's so unfortunate because they were looking really good to keep control of that flashpoint, but now all of that has flipped to Qadsiah's side because Ziad still hasn't had to use this remech. You have 3 other ultimates that are coming up as well after the ultimates. Use both of their DPS ults here, so you can't just overwhelm through this orbital ray. You might just have to take an eco fight here and reset quickly. Unless something crazy happens. I mean, it is Kevster and Kai we're talking about. They could just get some big picks.
Deflection value, there you go. Right back towards that turret is Checkmate hammered it to full HP again. Orbital ray available. Good value there from the pulsar torpedoes, hitting all the teammates. As we slowly but surely see the ultimates try and make their way in. Good snipe there onto Kai. Doesn't end up going down, but Kevster, like you called it, Rose, anything can happen when Kevster's on the field. Unfortunately, it does end up going down as this orbital ray proved quite the nuisance to the Genji, but Labda with a double shot onto Sky. Surely this is over now with the rally coming onto the point from Faith. KSA end up using Annihilation, but look at how healthy Labda is. Happy to play up in the front line, but unfortunately for him, shot out by Kai. Still that giant plasma screen TV from Faith being quite annoying for the Sojin to shoot through. As ultimates only give out Qadsiah 98%.
There's a lot of shield up available on the ultimates too. Like not even just the plasma 4K TV, but you also have just the normal shield from the Ramattra that can make it very difficult to land some of these shots. You have to really work through all of that extra defense. But maybe Molencore can help you here.
Yeah, nothing to eat either, so it makes the standing on the point a little bit more cumbersome. Lantern does go down to Kai on the angle, though. This is the Kai we expect to see in this Sojin meta, finding these picks, kind of matching Labda now in the Sojin head-to-head, although Labda takes the Sky. Kai trying to take that shot, but no, Checkmate's there with the assist. Faith and Kai dead. Haku may have fallen, but it is a 2v4. And in OT, yeah, you're taking, especially with Ziad on the point, they do get the flip and the cap. No OT triggered. 35 seconds now until the next point unlocks. Now Qadsiah with the regroup as they do end up winning that one. Kev's not using the blade there. Disappointing, and unfortunately for Ultimates, as they tie it up.
Yeah, but now maybe save it. You know, it's all about a patient game. So Kevster asking for the next flashpoint. We just need to keep trading these back and forth until we get to the 5th and final one, right? But yeah, Kevster has to be a little bit on the defense. But where are we? Where's the flashpoint's over there? We got a ways to go, friends.
Blade available. You see Kevster trying to line up a jump into the back dive. Sent pretty low though. You see how it just bowls into it. Like a 4-ton bowling ball. Well, there's a self-destruct. That is right on top of people too. That Annihilation is going to fade away. Couldn't move because of Ziad's self-destruct. So kind of ult for ult there. As Qadsiah get a quick wraparound and actually get a cap.
Wow, I mean, great stuff to be able to deal with the Annihilation, because that's certainly something that this team would have a lot of problems with, especially without something like the rally. But now it's going to be Ray versus Ray. Kevster still has that blade, but it's going to be tough to take him down in this Ray.
Well, there's the Rays. Pulsar torpedoes are going to connect, but Kai's already found one. And it's anybody's guess here who wins these fights when Rays are used simultaneously. But Qadsiah with the blade, like you said, it's just really anything to kind of combo with it. The pulsar torpedoes are great, and it just leads Genji. It's just like one shot, dash, 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 and you just kill everybody. But Qadsiah is still with 48%. Happy running away with that one. You've got an overclock, you've got a molten core, and even this rally coming up soon. And ultimates, they've only got that rally to their name right now.
It's nice to know that that rally could be able to match that of Faith's, but Lambda with an overclock, we know what he's capable of when this ult is ready in his hands. But look at this tempo!
Yeah, they're going early. Really smart play. Just trying and making sure Qadsiah have to reset quick, because without these Lucios, sure, you got the speed ring, but it's not that consistent speed to get fight after fight after fight. So every single percent more important than it normally would be.
Absolutely. I mean, it also only comes out every once in a while, but quick reset here for Qadsiah and a very fast rotation, so Lambda can use this overclock.
Sky is so healthy too, still has that overhealth. There's a molten core on the point though. Yeah, time to vacate the premises, KSA. Still kind of juggling it, but ends up getting booped away by Ziad, so the cap can come through. 87%, but ultimates are in prime position to try and retake.
Now, with the Annihilation and the overclock of their own, this Haku rally is going to have to be a big one.
Well, Annihilation is going to be nice there to hold down the front line for the time being, but the rally bash stops KSA from advancing. Now trying to hold down this front line is Kai with his overclock. Everything's carrying in that corner right now. It doesn't really want to peek. Even a self-destruct too on the gates. Haku is dead. 4 on 5. Remake comes through, but now Kevs is looking towards a blade. It's going to be up to Landon to try and get away from this one. Everybody going super low, and a Ray up in 10% might be what they need to flip this one over. Ray earned ultimates with 10% now to maybe play with, but the Ray ends up getting used, and a speed ring to help checkmate reposition into the front line. And now ultimates, what do they have in their bank to try and get back into this? Because that was Qadsiah. They're going to get this cap on the point.
Ooh, yeah, the cap comes through and they just have to get the recontest, but with Sky and Faith already going down, it's just cleanup duty here. Kevster with the blade, it would be really risky, and if anyone can make a difference, it could be him. But with being such low HP, the ultimates have to give it up, and we're looking at a final point for Qadsiah to now take the lead again in this series. We're going over to Palace, but this is going to be even better for the ultimates because they beat Qadsiah to the punch, still with this blade and that Ray. What a deadly combo for them to have.
Lab defining 2 picks early was just so nice. Never gave Kevster a chance. Oh, there's the Ray from Sky. Yeah, goodbye, Qadsiah. Tried to catch him on the rotate. Ideally here, you do stagger out the Baby Diva until the point unlocks. Checkmate is still alive too, so a little bit more of a stagger. Whoa, Kevster. Okay, we're good. Nice little stagger there on Ziad. Kevster, sorry, Ziad and Checkmate will spawn together, but ultimates they're going to set up. A lot of ultimates as well, Rose.
Yeah,
ultimates
not
and
even
ultimates,
having...
by the way,
I hate
the
that.
most synonymous word with Overwatch like vocab, and they have the name of the...
I hate that.
It's so funny. It's so
They
funny.
knew what they were doing, I feel like. So, it's fine. We'll all get over it. But hopefully everybody knows what we mean when we say the ultimates for the ultimates.
Oh, good. Again, going so early. Rally, bash, stun into the front line. Unfortunately, you don't enter. Oh, the remake kill on Takai. Unfortunate, but you get to stagger Ziad here. Once again, really making it hurt. Gonna body block on the door. Goodbye. Another big stagger. 62% in building. This is gonna be final fight, Rose.
Overclock for Kai, and you already have the defensive setup, but running into 4 ultimates here for Qadsiah. That just might be enough to overwhelm. But I would hope that for Qadsiah to win out this map, they can't just use everything here. They need to play smart, but I love the pressure.
Kai, are you serious on the flank? He's fine too already. They end up popping rally. Checkmate pop molten core. Okay, I guess we have 2 ults for the next. We're going all the way to a 5th point, Rose. I love the proactive play from ultimates. They know their win conditions, and they know Qadsiah was going to come back in with those ults. Perfect stuff from them. Faith goes early with a rally. They push in, set Kai up an off angle. Kai gets 2. This is it. Ultimates. They might not be able to win this first fight, but if they can force something early here again, they're really bleeding Qadsiah dry.
They are, and especially if they just keep taking poke damage like this, then Sky might be able to get this orbital ray to match that of Landon's, and then all of a sudden, it's just Lambda with the overclock that can make the difference.
Sky's got it online. Orbital Rays are going to get popped here on the corners. Yep, instantly Sky responds with his. Her Fate's already dead. Well, that Briggs got sent sky high there. Not sure what hit her, but she got sent to the moon almost. KSA and Faith down. All right, okay. Trading of the Orbital Rays. It's going to be Qadsiah capping the first, this point first.
Wow, but I mean, that was still pretty close. Like, what if Kevster had the blade up, and then you do blade inside of Orbital Ray? There's a lot of stuff that just making these fights come down to the wire. Sometimes it's just having the right ultimate response online. But now with Kevster having the blade here, no rally here for Haku, no Orbital Ray for Landon, so Kevster's blade should be pretty free, all things considered.
It was just Kevster versus the turret there. His checkmate was trying to heal it. Damn, what a battle for the ages. Blade over the top. What a vortex. Holding everybody in place. Kevster, though, takes a little bit too much damage, but KSA's there to help him get the reset on Labda. Self-destruct. Launched onto the point. You saw Kevster there looking to the sky, not entirely sure whether the point would land. He actually ended up killing Faith, who was split up from the rest of the team. Kevster gets another dash and away from the rest of the squad, but Qadsiah extending this fight out 80%, and they're almost a full fighting force as well, with Labda coming back from the spawn.
And KSA has to switch over to the Diva to just make sure he can get back in time. And it looks like it might be on Kevster to touch. He does trigger the overtime, but they're walking into a Molten Core.
Oh, this Molten Core. I mean, this is pretty much it, surely. There's no way you can even step onto the point. They're going to try and get there again. They get another re-trigger, but KSA trades the mech for another touch. OT, it exists, sure. But in what time frame do they have to really come back in? They've got an Orbital Ray to now deal with. They get another touch because Kevster ends up dashing in. He gets booped up, gets the 5th and final touch for Ultimates. There's a return Orbital Ray, but it's too little too late. You're hoping for a miracle here, and Kai unable to deliver as Qadsiah. They're going to take the second map here, and, well, their second map is the third map in the series, and they're now on a match point versus Ultimates.
Wow. I mean, again, coming down to the absolute limit for both of these teams. 5 flashpoints? Like, what in the... Is this going to be a 5-map series? Because I know we both said 3-1 at the beginning, but it's been so close. And it does feel like anybody's game at this point.
Yeah, 100%. Just those early fights that Ultimates have taken, those are the points that they were winning. But Qadsiah, you know, pacing out the ults and checkmate on the Torb. Sure, the Torb is undivable, but that's kind of not what the comp was supposed to do with the Ram. And that Molten Core at the very end did end up saving him. I think everybody had a very good game. There wasn't a single person I could really point out and go, okay, that was the problem that both teams that they were facing. What a snipe too from Kai. Really kind of lighting the stage up here, Rose. Map number 1, Labda was the one getting picks, and it was onto Kai, like over and over again, like at least 3 fights on a single map. And now Kai's really coming into his own. Early fights with the rally, we saw that 2 times, and then Kai on the off angle with the Sojourn. Like, this is how you need to take these fights if you're down Ultimates. And that self-destruct from Sia was very clean as well. The Ray fights are really harder to call, especially if it's a 5-on-5 too. It's really up to the Genjis and the Sojourns to get those, bam, like 1 hits. But again, another very close game in terms of stats too.
What the heck? I'm so excited because we were already talking street talk of like heading into the first stage of OWCS. Oh, these teams, they're so close. There's gonna be such high stakes competition to see who are gonna be the top 4-6 teams in the region, and it's delivering. Like, this is the example match of what we would look at and say the talent is there and the competition is there. It's that close.
Well, map point for Qadsiah right now. Ultimates, they want to make this a map number 5, and I think everybody wants to go there as well. I know the audience was well in their backs. I mean, look, I think it was like 60 to 70% or something the audience had voted for Ultimates, but Qadsiah looking like they want to run away with this one. Map number 4 on your screens in just a moment. We're going to jump to a very short break. We'll be right back after this. We're so back. Here we go. Qadsiah up 2 maps, taking Suravasa. Ultimates, they're going to take us to Qadsiah now. No substitutions, so we're not seeing the GOAT back in. Twilight, that being. Kiriko ban, though. And Qadsiah, and I'm going to be honest, Rose, not too surprised to see this one, a Ramatra ban from them. So no KSA playing the Ram. Might be a little bit more diva action now.
So what's really interesting about this is, I was just kind of thinking, the Suravasa pick is so smart because it's a part of the hybrid map pool. Right. So if you actually pick Suravasa, then the ultimates don't get a chance to respond with another double flex backline on something like Blizzard World or whatever. So now we are forced to a push map, which I think either of these teams are pretty happy with, but maybe Qadsiah even more so. And with this Ram ban, now I gotta say, Jack, does this come back to like bite them in any way? Does KSA actually play Sig into the diva? That would be a good counter.
Yeah, it's difficult, but the thing is, with the Kiriko ban, you're also protecting the Lucio. So the Sigma is kind of bad when you have a Lucio like kind of available. KSA picking up the Mauga, he's done it before. He can do it again. Another very good hero. But what isn't banned is the Zarya. We might see like maybe a Mauga emergency pick at some point, but the Zarya is going to be the next best option now that Ram is banned, because you know Ziad is going to play diva on this map.
Yeah, I mean, another good counter to the diva, and this was actually one of the tanks we saw banned out earlier on in the series.
Right.
Likely because it's going to play well into this diva, and KSA coming out on this very comfortable, now has those bubbles to be able to place on somebody like Kevster to make those dives a lot easier.
Exactly that, and that's what we saw the other day, right? As soon as we see these Zarya picks, it's just perma-pocketing the Kevster Genji. We'll see how Checkmate does on the Torbjorn. Pretty nice damage, though, coming out from the Torb, to be fair. Against the Zarya, you can force those bubbles quite well. But it does look like Qadsiah are at least taking the first step kind of forward here with the robots.
Yeah, KSA got really low there, but is hoping to be able to still stay alive with this high energy charge. But no first picks coming through just yet.
You see Ziad just thrusting off cooldown. Like, every time thrusters are up, boom, he's gone. He's gone, he's gone. And that's what you need to do as the diva. It's on such a short cooldown, only 4 seconds. You're like, if I can just keep doing this and not get beamed down by the Zarya and get out of the way, I'm gonna be good and I can maybe pick someone off. Speaking of which, Kevster bubbled, goes in, and now they can just kind of play this corner. KSA, pretty high charge too.
Very high charge. That's just going to be the front line getting melted if you step up to the plate a little too close. But Landis got this orbital ray. So orbital ray is going to get thrown in on both sides here.
Yeah, KSA's going to be in trouble here. Has to bubble himself. There come the pulsar torpedoes, but the sound barrier is going to come in just in time. Ultimates, they get coated in green, and Haku, you can see 99% on that sound barrier. Faith does end up going down, but as the fight breaks down, the Zarya is just going to reign supreme in these fights. The bubble rotations, and then just how high energy you are. It's just crazy amount of damage.
It is a lot of damage. I know this Graviton Surge is coming too, maybe to be able to pair with something like this Overclock. So that is going to be a really nice combo of ultimates to have, as Qadsiah look at having preserved the sound barrier for that. But that overhealth can only last for so long until you're just gonna get taken out by a couple of quick railgun shots. Actually, just use the overclock now.
Yep, sound barrier ends up coming in. There's the perfect answer to it. Labda now getting a headshot onto Sky. Follows it up with a little body shot there. Okay, Sky down. No more speed ring. You still got speed to get out, but you actually need to stay alive. They're going to try and go in with the Dragon Blade and a bubble onto Kevster. Just means he's going to run through your entire team. Already a double kill. Steals the health back away as well. Extremely smart positioning there from Kev as the ultimates end up turning that fight on its head.
Yeah, but look at where that bot is. So they're barely going to be able to get the lead here before Qadsiah get to come back and pretty good form too. Checkmate still has that Molten Core, so it's Molten Core versus his Overclock. Kind of held on to that one for a little bit there, and that's going to be the perfect ult to have here when you're trying to just solidify this lead right now.
All right, Kevster gets a couple of extra meters, but getting the lead is kind of nice, although not much of one, especially at that stage too. It's pretty bad. It's not that much of a lead, sorry. And there's the overclock from Kai. Doesn't quite have the same success there as Labda, although it does land a headshot from range. Quick reset of the bots. Kai looking for another off angle, but yeah, just waiting for the Sojourns to get picks now, Rose.
Yeah, this is a waiting game. It's good old Qadsiah with Windows all over again.
Eventually, someone will die. But the Zarya comp will get poked back. That's the thing. As soon as those bubbles kind of get used, you are going to want to fall back on the Zarya. Molten Core available, but there's the pick. Labda kills Kai yet again, who's been his arch nemesis during this one. And here comes the Molten Core, straight on top of the orbital raise. How about you use that now? Unfortunately for Checkmate, though, he's a little bit too close to the high-energy Zarya and gets beamed to death. One bubble still available from KSA, and he's got a Diva to look at. That's a free Graviton Surge there from the Zarya, and a little boop. Could even grab this Diva if he really wants to. Tries to jump around the corner, but on the other side of the wall, Ziad manages to get the remake. And now look at KSA's positioning. Just in an awkward spot. Has to regroup the rest of the team. So that's going to be the lead to Qadsiah.
But he gets to walk away with all of that charge. So the fact that he isn't dead yet, I mean, this is still a deadly Zarya.
Lantern just caught out. Probably no speed ring there, although, to be fair, Faith was just taxiing KSA the whole time.
This is gonna be a big tussle over mid again, though.
Grab Blade beat.
Yeah, that's tough to beat. I mean, you have a beat, maybe if you're Haku, you can get that quickly, but Labda here with the overclock, like that's what you're hoping is gonna fix it.
Bubble first. There's a Tracer on the point right now. Checkmate trying to steal the bot away, but Kevs has already found a kill. Everybody from Qadsiah right now, apart from Checkmate in the spawn. Unsuccessful as Checkmate in the carjacking there. Didn't end up managing to hotwire it as he's 1 HP. Or 8. Give him a couple more. Sound barrier comes in from Faith, counteracted by Qadsiah's, but still, KSA is chilling. You're on the low ground. You got the Graviton Surge. You didn't end up getting the lead, but you're going to get an early mid fight again, Rose, and you have the grab still to your name.
Yeah, there hasn't been a good time to use the grab, though. I think Ziad's been on top of it in terms of this defense. But just like, look for it now.
It actually catches Ziad somehow. That's going to be a free D-Mech. Labda ends up using the overclock. Ziad not quite quick enough to do the Fury. Grab, eat 180. And, Qadsiah, they're not going to win this fight. They have to back all the way up. And if they can catch Ziad, Rose, this is going to be lead for Ultimate and then some.
Oh, maybe that's what they want right here. Yeah, I mean, someone's got to get a checkpoint here. Kevster with that pick might be it.
What an unbelievable pick. They do end up getting the Met back, Rose, but look at the orbital rate. Where's the value? Ultimates have got one to their names too, and Ziad's not going to want to stay around there all too long. Checkmate narrowly missing the pulse, but stealing the bot yet again. Grand Theft Bot, it's been eventually contested there by Faith, and Checkmate does end up dying, and the push will continue for Ultimates. Rose, they can hold high ground, and they might be able to get checkpoint. It's so close.
It's very close, but Labda coming out with Vara. Maybe this is where you look at things getting a little dire, because we've got 3 minutes of the map left.
Oh.
Still some game, but that's big.
Oh, Labda air strafing out the way of Kai. Unfortunately, landed not quite so lucky, though, as Labda sunk like a stone's run out of fuel in the jets as Kai just scores 3 kills off the back of that overclock, and that is Ultimates gaining the checkpoint as well. Ziad trying to scurry away all the way back to spawn as the Ultimates extend their lead.
Ooh, wait, no, checkpoint, not quite yet.
Oh, Labda's actually back. Oh, Kevster. Oh, gets the reflect. No dash. If he had dash there, Labda's dead.
Yeah, I think they just... Did they narrowly miss that checkpoint?
Oh, they did, but this might be the checkpoint in just a moment. Good little deflect there. 42 HP. Not quite the meaning of the blade there, unfortunately. Graviton Surge is good for 3, though. That's what you want to see. Ultimates, now they got the checkpoint, Rose. The prophecy was fulfilled.
Oh, my goodness. It felt like Qadsiah came back, and they might have been able to stop that from coming through, but the fact that KSA had another grab, that just sealed the deal. And so now Qadsiah, like, they've got to put the pedal to the metal now. Less than 2 minutes. They've got to match that checkpoint and then some.
Oh, the barrage.
No way.
Does end up using the bubble there. Survives for a little bit of time, but Rose with 87 meters. That means checkpoint in 1 minute and 30. Ultimates can just play the classic mid off. You stand in the mid. You wait for a pick. If you don't get it, that's fine because you're just burning time.
Yeah. Oh boy, I don't know if it's gonna be a clean mid fight though. I think Qadsiah might take this one. I mean, you've got Soundbear and you've got Ray. Lana's gonna hit that now. Seeing KSA cut out.
Wow. I've never seen a health bar drop so quickly. KSA just evaporated.
He actually got snapped out of this server real quick right there. But that is a good amount of progress here for Qadsiah. And once again, minute left. I think they're going to get the checkpoint here.
Should be able to, but look at the quick rotation here from Ultimates. No!
So
dashes
close.
onto the point and kills Haku, and they don't get checkpoint. Orbital Ray needs to come out now, as well as that sound barrier actually be invested by the Ultimates. That's an expensive fight, but it was a fight they needed to win. It's so important that they did not allow Qadsiah to get checkpoint rows. That additional time that it takes for the bot to do his thing on the checkpoint and AFK for a moment is so crucial in these last few seconds, and there's only 30 of them to go.
It's going to have to be an overtime push, if any, and Qadsiah need to win 2 clean team fights in order to actually win this map in the series. Looking good right now for the Ultimates to take us to a map number 5, as Kai with this overclock gets a chance to play around the mid, but it comes down to these soldiers opening, well, one Sojourn, Kai, really opening things up, putting the team on his shoulders right now. Yeah,
I mean, he's got overclock rows in 2%, and now he can just sit on the bridge. It's like, you come at me, that's fine. I mean, Labda, good luck. The skies are open, buddy. Not really too many buildings you can play around, and where you can be effective is going to be cut to a bare minimum. And the longer OT goes on as well, the faster that's going to tick down. Kevster trying to find checkmate on the off angle, has already popped overload. A small bubble there as Kevster dashes in. 99% has now got the blade as he just tries to deal with that turret. Rather pesky, but easy for Kevster to kind of deal with. He's going to go in. Pops the blade, there's the beat, dashes straight out again. Perfect stuff. And now Qadsiah down a big ult for the next fight.
Blade gone, but they still have this overclock as well as this graviton surge, and KSA is looking for the perfect target for it.
The barrage on the high ground takes care of Kai, and now they can feast in the skies. Another kill from Labda there onto Faith. Kevster also succumbing to the Farah, and somehow, somewhere, they might have just done it. They've got checkpoint, but because Ultimates didn't give them the fight a go, they're going to guarantee themselves at least one more fight.
One more fight, but they're walking into Landed's orbital rays. Yad also has this mech to be able to lay that bomb onto the point. It's going to be a tough one here for the Ultimates.
This race is going to be so crucial. Sky is 10% away as well. If this ray comes out too early, it could be over for the Ultimates, and Kevster's already dead. Checkmate's turret takes him out, and there's the mortal core. Good luck touching now if you're Ultimates, and now Qadsiah, they're not happy going to a map number 5. They're just going to end it right here, right now. 87 meters completed, and now Qadsiah take the series 3-1.
What a match. What a close affair on every single map that we had. It ends up as a 3-1, but it felt like it could have gone either way based on just small little differences in the outcomes of these fights. Like, if Ray had been online in those final moments, who knows if that is actually an Ultimates win, because they can match that and they don't just get overwhelmed. But Zoe, what a treat. We got a great match between 2 amazing teams.
I had the ultimate taking this one. I got my charcuterie board ready. I was numbing away. Was getting, all set up.
Overwatch games.
That's why
That's so
set
true.
up for a 5-map banger. Which it could have been. It could have very well been. I mean, this was an absolute treat. The Ultimates are going down, but still, we got to see Twilight in the mix on map 2, so all of us old heads are happy. It's a blessed day. Also, Suravasa going all the way to not just 5 points. The points were in blowouts,
Yeah,
that's how close they were.
points.
Yeah, that's how closely matched these 2 teams were. I'm very impressed with what we've seen from both, but that also means that standing-wise, we're going to see the Ultimates staying behind Qadsiah.
Yeah, I mean, they rocket up on the scoreboard now. I mean, Qadsiah 4-2, and then Ultimates 2-3. Look, this was just a fantastic map. The bans really did mean a whole lot as well. It was interesting to see how they ended up banning the Ram. It was like, okay, we'll play the Zarya. And that comp is just good against the Diva comp, but I think Ziad played it very well despite having the disadvantage in the tank matchup. I thought Kai kind of came alive as well, especially on Suravasa. They had good game plans. Go early, go fast, and without the Lucio comps, just force them to the bitter end to try and fight. And this couldn't have been closer, honestly. Just that 10% from Sky was just needed. I think it would have been a very different game, like Rose kind of highlighted at the very end. If Sky had Orbital Ray, that could have gone their way too. It was just a battle of inches.
Speaking of things that Rose highlighted, she got her pred right. We're all wrong.
Yeah, you did actually. 3-1, yeah.
Well,
Giga brain.
I could think the coin flip sort of again. I mean, it's tough. I just like recency bias to me. I just feel like how Qadsiah is such a they've just been so on it in terms of their matches. I feel like if you're on a hot streak, you just keep that hot streak. And I think the Ultimates right now are still finding their footing in terms of, I don't know, working together as a team or something. Something just still seems muted to me, and it maybe is just recency bias from the last couple of matches, but I don't know. Something in the tea leaves this morning told me Qadsiah was gonna take it today.
Yeah, that's why we got to drink our teas in the morning. Coffee, that's where I went wrong. The Ultimates, though, I think you just brought up a really, really good point there. We see individuals popping off. Like, one map, it's Kai. One map, it's Kevster. But it never comes together. It's never all of them popping off at the same time, which is what we've seen from the other teams. Like, everyone is stepping up to the plate, whereas the Ultimates, it looks more streaky.
Sure, and their schedule as well is not looking like the best they could ask for. They go against Gen.G and Twisted Minds next week, so they really need to be on their A game.
Yeah, but next week we do have perks in the mix, so maybe that will shake something up.
Maybe it's a good thing.
London is earning themselves the player of the match. Listen, all three of us are here for a good support. Bottom. So Landon, obviously, one of the greats of the sport, looking fantastic right now in this meta.
Yeah, there are a couple of times where like, wow, he got picks there. Like, how is Landon getting like random like kunai kills and like 2v1s? Like, yeah, really, really consistent on the Kiriko. Obviously, much more known for his BAP play, but yeah, looked really good. The entire Qadsiah roster, I feel like, has leveled up over the last few weeks. They do face Virtus Pro next, so their toughest battles are yet to come. Although, like you said, Rose, look, if they're on a hot streak, they're feeling themselves. Like, take some more maps of Virtus Pro, please, because they have looked unstoppable. And if you can do that, you're going to feel so good going into the playoffs.
Even
man.
just
it's
one
going to be
map.
so nice.
Just one map, I think you just feel good,
one
right?
map, please. Just one map.
Just one map, bro. Yeah, well, we'll see. Virtus Pro will be back in action right after a quick break, so we get to see if they were rattled by what looked like a close match against Twisted Minds at some occasions. All right, it was still a 3-0, but there were a few moments there which led people to believe that maybe they aren't completely just, invulnerable.
Surely, gods can bleed.
Surely. Well, we find out. Team Peps will give it a go. Next, we're going to head into a very quick break, and afterwards we're back with our second and last EMEA match of week 3. You don't want to miss it.